All right, today is Thursday, the 1st of June. Happy June, everybody. Juneteenth month. It is also Men's Month, especially Father's Month. This is a month dedicated to all those fathers out there, which I am proud to say I am part of. When somebody asks me, do you have any kids? And I say, sure. How many you need? But they're all great kids, and they're good. Thank God. Bless my daughter. She is the only girl that I fathered. A bunch of boys, as you may guess, from various other women. So happy Dad's Month to everyone out there. I was thinking to myself how I wanted to begin this video series for this Stewart Warner 9162, and I figured what I'd do is a combination of show and tell and show and tell. It give you an idea of what goes through my head at various times of the day, or whenever I get ready to do something, even when I'm not ready to do anything. My mind just kind of slips into neutral, and I wonder what the hell I'm doing at the refrigerator. Putting in trash. It happens. Especially when you get old. And those of you out there that are at my age, you understand that. So, a beginning on this radio. We've already went through the intro. I went through and made a quick inspection of the under chassis situation, and looking to see if there were any telltale things that kind of jumped out at me. And the only really thing there was this, that cap and that one there. As mentioned in the prior video, the E-cap is still in service, and these were added in. Now, I don't know if this, I'm terrible with reading date codes. I mean, others can do it and know where to look for the stuff. Me, not so well versed in that. So, but these two did catch my eye, especially that one, since it was only hooked in on one thing, barely. Now, what I generally do is, when, like I said earlier, I start a jacket on this thing, and I get my schematics in order and blow up my details. Here is the one sheet. This is sheet 10, volume 10, page 19 of the Stewart Warner radio chassis and schematic. Some of them can be a little rough to read. This one here I got off my CD, and it is good and crisp. I could have got it off of Nostalgia, and I could have got it off Radio Museum, but there was no need for that, because they would be a little smudgy and a little difficult to read. So, and there are probably other places you can get the schematics from, if you don't mind paying for them. Now, what I generally do, once I get these all those items situated out and spread out and individualized, I go through the tube section and I identify all the pin outs on it. So that way I don't have to be digging through a bunch of crap whenever I'm enthralled in a search and destroy on something and trying to figure out what is where, like that particular resistor. I want to know which lug it should be connected to on which pin. I can easily see right now that it's tied to pin 5 along with a mica cap, and they go somewhere else. So that way I'll know with just at a glance where I'm at. And I do that for each tube in the schematic. Also the rectifier tube and the eye tube. And that eliminates a hell of a lot of wondering and guesswork. So, then I go through, and if they're identified in a parts list, and these should be because they are numbered. They are not segregated by type. They're just all numbered through. 10 could be a resistor, 11 could be a capacitor, but typically some will segregate them, so and put them in all the resistors together in a line and all the capacitors together in a line, whether they're paper and oil or they're mica or silver mica. So I go through it and I familiarize myself with the schematic. I look at the flow. I identify the sections. This one here, this one here is identified as oscillator. I'm not sure where I got that from. This over, okay, 39. 39 is an antenna coil. This one over here should have a number of 40. I didn't see it. I'm looking at the phone screen rather than at the actual paper, so I didn't see that. This is the oscillator. Here you see there's, I think that is 22 and that is 15. I go to the parts list. Where are you, little life forms? And I look in here and I see that 15 is a carbon resistor, 15K. 22 is a resistor, 22K. 15K, 22K. And I may even go so far as to double check the windings on both the IFs cans and check what their values are when I go and verify that the coils are still intact. And these are, as you can tell with the values that I have here written here. I track that down. I get a feel for the girl, so to speak. No offense. And find out where the controls are. And look and see if there's any anomalies in here. Now, the only thing that I found that was that sent up a flag was this canned ohm right here. 26A, B, and C. The values I got off the chart were 55 ohms, 30 ohms, and 240 ohms. Well, on this one, this is well, this is the high side, what I would call the high side. It is this end of the candle. This other end should be grounded, and up here it is grounded right there. Now I don't know why in the hell this is here, and I don't know why in the hell that was there. That there was soldered down right there, book, onto that. Well, when I took readings off this thing, I was getting some really strange readings. I added these up and came up with a value, and I went across both ends, and it wasn't even close. So I went through and I individually checked them, and they were coming up with like 160, I forget what the heck it was. But anyway, I thought, how in the hell could they be so far off? Well, when I looked at that doggone thing, I thought, well, you know, it comes off at this 1 meg resistor is tied in between this value and that value. So that would put this on that leg right there. There's the 1 meg coming off the tap between the two resistors, but there's no ground. Up here, there's no ground. So I clipped it, book, and took readings. Try to get this thing to refocus here. 55 ohms, 30 ohms, and 240 ohms. That's what the value should be, and that is pretty close. It's within 10%. What the readings that I got off of it. So somehow or another, this gizzy thingy right there must have crawled in there and hooked itself in, and made everybody nervous. So I'm going to clip it out of there. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get this thing to a point to where I can get an initial checkout on it and see if it does anything. So before I do that, I want to make sure that the E-caps are replaced and anything else that might be iffy. Now if I ran across a transformer that's burned out, well, it could be because of a bypass cap or a resistor shorting or something causing that thing to fry itself. So that would be replaced also. And I noticed on Philcos, especially the 41s and 42 dash type radios, these things are like cooking themselves really good. It's like I'm giving up the ghost and see you later. And these are open. I don't know how. Out of the Philcos that I've done, as you'll find on my YouTube channel, going way back, I would say 80%, maybe 75%, maybe 70%. I've had to replace these output transformers. Single-ended and push-pull. So, now that's pretty much my standard operating procedure beginning out on the radio. So as you can see, we're just beginning on this one here. I've already double checked the coils on the first and second IF and they're good. This thing here, I'm going to go through and I'm going to clip the old E-caps free and put new E-caps in where they should be. I don't even know if these here are in where it was correctly, especially after running across that thing. So that's what we're going to be doing next. I'm going to try and get this thing video documented, or whatever, how, if there's such a word, for everyone, so they can kind of follow along my thinking and what I'm doing. I'm not going to make anybody sit and watch paint dry. You know where the screws are. You know how to unscrew things and rescrew things and everything. I'm not going to make you sit and watch me pull screws out of something and everything. You're going to see it after the fact. You're going to have to do your own homework on how to take it apart. So, that being said, let me get out of here before this thing gets way too lengthy. And we'll be concerning ourselves with the next video segment. So thanks for watching.